Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 2v2 ladder match here on the most amazing Necroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 or Blue Team here in the northwest corner, ending with Red Team or Team 2 down in the southeast corner. Starting off with the northwest corner player of Team 1 in his handle below, making another appearance here on the channel. He's going first, land in in Royal Blue as a Cybern, and his partner in the east here in Stitch Blue. We have Rayla. I think that's how you say that name. He is going first, land as an Aeon. So a Cybern and an Aeon here for Team Blue. Down here in the south, we have Rekather going first, air, as a Seraphim in Sevi Crimson, and in the west we have another Cybern, Jadoka 1972 Noob. He's going first, land in Ruby Red as a Cybern. So for Team 2 we have a Cybern and a Seraphim. Team 1 is a Seraphim and a UEF, and an Aeon, no UEF for either teams this game. Let's go ahead and check out Reclaim here. We are at a 3,000, very pitiful amount of reclaim here on this map. And honestly, in terms of mexes, we really don't have that much to work with either. We have a group of 4 over here to the northeast and southwest, and we have a group of 4 here to the northwest and the southeast. That's pretty much going to be probably the main focus for our players to get these outlying mexes. And it is kind of a very interesting map. There's not really... it's very difficult to get to these corners of the map here for the opposing team, just due to the fact that it's a narrow neck of land to get to, plus we have, of course, another separate narrow neck of land to traverse as well. Lots of ocean, lots of water for our players to utilize. Maybe we'll see some naval facilities here for our players in the southwest and in the northeast. But we're going to have to check out that as time goes on. Any early bomber plays out from our players here? I don't see really any sort of movement in that direction. Let's see. We do have, it does look like players are starting to cross the river, the ocean, lake, pond thingamajiggy. And they are going for these mexes here to the northeast. We do have a mole over here to the northeast from the player of Judica, and gets taken out by an Aurora there. There is another one. It is a Hunter inbound, but that's going to do nothing against a Aurora. And this map, again, kind of not a whole lot of mexes, not a whole lot of mass in terms of reclaim. There's really not a whole lot. It's going to be a lot more based on tactical prowess, where our teams decide to place their forward operating bases, their fire bases, all of that. We have a mole here to the west, not doing anything. Could have taken out these engineers. And there is a Hunter en route. Judica does know that they're there. He'll see those engineers. They're building that T1 land facility. Engineers are going to get taken out. There is a mole nearby. There goes the second engineer. It's going to die before the land facility will be completed. There's more engineers en route to finish the job. The comm does look like it's not really going that direction. Looks like it's going southward. This map, very small, it's like maybe a 12 by 12, if that. It's not really a big map either. We're going to see, I think the player of Rayla going to try to at least kind of go on this northeastern edge here. He probably wants to lock out his opponent of Rekather out of the Navy here for this northeast section, protect him in that aspect. That's a huge plot of map that you just don't have to worry about. We do have to worry about, of course, the Cyberns can walk over land with their destroyers, but they are really small. They're really small. They're really wow, lost train of thought. That they are really slow. That's what I was looking for. And I don't see much of anything in terms of forward aggression. We do see a couple of Mantis here taking out some early mexes on Rayla here. Team 1 and Team 2, their rating points are just about 10 average. Team 2 on a little bit of the lead there. It's 1404 versus 1394. 99%, almost perfect, but it's never going to be perfect in FAF. It's just the way of things. Both the comms here for Team 2 out on the front lines. Kind of a little bit short of the 50-way midpoint. We have the, of course, comm of Hannibal to the west and the comm of Rayla to the northeast. It's going to be a lot more focused on ecoing up, trying to upgrade all their mechs, trying to maybe go for mass FAF farms. This match isn't super long. It is under an hour. So it's not a, very drawn out match with 2 versus 2 scenario, but we do see a large effort from Team 2's play of Judica to grab this group of mechs that will severely weaken Rayla's position in terms of eco. That's a lot of eco he's not going to be able to get. And so that will go into the hands of Team 2. That's a huge boost just due to the fact that there's not that many mechs here on this map. Denying, or at least, claiming, if at least not denying mechs from your opponent is very vital in this game. Does look like Hannibal might be going for Nave. No, it looks like he's just going to go for this position, which doesn't really have anything to defend against. So Team 2 kind of going on the outskirts. Sorry, Team 1 going on the outskirts of the map versus Team 2 going straight up the middle. And this is a huge effort here by Judica, getting up a T1 point defense and then going for a secondary one. I think that's a gun. I think it's a gun. Maybe that's an AA gun. Now they're going to build some... Not that's an AA gun. A couple of Aurora are nearby to help with range, but that PD takes them out right quick. Will force his units back. I think Judica's play is to essentially lock Team 1's play of Rayla here in this section of the map, essentially force them into just their main base, which has its benefits and has its disadvantages. Advantages, you lock out a lot of the mechs, but the disadvantages is this becomes a very tough nut to crack. But of course, eventually you'll win just due to your size of eco. But Team 1's player of Hannibal going on the southwestern side, about to knock out some eco here for Judica. And in terms of eco, currently, we're at essentially a tie game right now. Team 1 and Team 2 at a little under 70 mass per second. Rayla and Rekethur just throwing plasma at one another. Rekethur does have the advantage in hit points by only about 500, so if it was a murder-suicide situation, they would both be dead. Very risky play. Remember, only 2v2 here. If you lose one of your players, that is half of your APM gone in one shot. So it's going to be very risky. We do have the comm of Judica very far forward here. Again, trying to lock down this position. And again, it's very risky because you are so far forward. You could have a pincer maneuver coming in from Team 1 from the north and from the west. You have to be very careful with that. He can hide in the water, but all Team 1 has to do is build a couple of subs, and that's it. Doesn't really work out for Judica if he tries to hide in the water for a long period of time. We are starting to see the emergence of some sort of air force here for both teams, trying to just cover the skies a little bit. Does look like Rayla will have to retreat. This position will be held by Team 2's player, Rekethur. But Team 2 on the way here for Judica. Very risky, but it could pay off. You could try to just do a line of T2 Cerberus turrets and just essentially lock out anything else coming down from this eastern side. I feel like Rayla needs an additional land facility production zone to just start pumping out some units, because he's going to start realizing they're going to be locked in this kill box, essentially. It's not going to go well here for him. But unless the play of Hannibal comes in and tries to knock out Judica, Judica's going to stay there for a while. So it's a risk and reward here. Judica does lose this section of the map, so Hannibal will get some mechs for his team and be able to start ecoing up pretty quickly. We do have Rekethur just kind of hovering around this map. I would like to see him go up on this plateau and maybe build some artillery to just kind of shoot at enemy mechs and other facilities. And yep, he is going to build a land facility here. That is what Rayla is doing. But in terms of strategies, I think Team 1 is going to go on the edges, like I said before. And Team 2's, their main play is Judica here in the middle. I feel like if Rekethur, he either has two choices. He can go assist his teammate, or he can sit back. And I feel like he's going to sit back, which I don't know if that's the smartest play. You could take out this position. There's really nothing here. There's one PD and one engineer. That's it. that's all that's there. So you could easily just build some bombers and take them out, but isn't doing that as of yet. We have T2 missiles. Yeah, we have some TMLs here being launched at Team 1 player of Rayla's Eco. 2 mechs is already down. Gonna build some volcanoes that'll do wonders for his just nullifying of those missiles. Missile to the west here for against Team 1's player of Hannibal. There it goes. It is inbound. Going for that T2 mechs. And there it goes. It is gone. Neither player really focusing on T... Oh, no, never mind. We're going T2 air here for Rayla. Going for some gunships. Team 2, we do have another player going for possibly T3 air. Most likely just T2 for now. In a 2v2, it's not really a huge issue to go just straight for T3. You can kind of do it a little bit slowly. Just because you are microing, land and eco, and it's not very feasible to do just one thing. You have to do a multitude of things. We do have Hannibal on kind of just a tirade, wanted to go all the way south. Units coming in to assist and would love to see some AA mixed in here for him. But these are all actually, these are all Mantis. He is not Aeon. There are some Medusa in that mix as well. Good to see that at least some variety of units. And it does look like maybe he's just going to go straight in the base against Judica. Man, that'd be such a role reversal here. Judica went all the way north, and now we have Hannibal going all the way south. But there is a T2 gunship that has been built. These Renegades are trying to hold off these Mantis, but they are coming in hot. There's another one inbound. T1 PD on the way here. It is a very, very risky play. These units will have to retreat, though. There's not a lot of AA in this mix. Hannibal will have to build some sort of thing to deal with these gunships. Him just sitting there, though, taking some pod shots from bombers is not a good idea either. All of these units have been at least cornered here, but the forward operating base against Judica, for Judica, has been taken out by Rayla and some T1 forces. It was a really risky play, but like I said, he needed at least either more support or needed to retreat. Now a unit's going to come in and intercept. All these units are going to die here for Judica. Judica is in the water. And again, once you're in the water, you're kind of stuck there. Either you get a transport to get you out of there, or you just stay there. Yeah. You can see all those forces that Hannibal has brought is just being eradicated here. He needs AA, and he needs it now. Hannibal still just hanging out on the beach here, just taking in the nice sunny day, with some bombs landing on top of him. And, those hit points are falling. Not quickly, but they are falling. So there's a couple more gunships here for Team 2's player of Judica could easily wipe him out, but he will dip into the water there and hide for now. But Team 2 gunships starting to just hang above that comm. I don't know if they know where he... Oh, they know where he is. They know that's him. You kind of see him once in a while. But AA. We have some interceptors trying to go for those gunships. Did not go very well. We have some swift ones on the field here. Those not hybrids, but they're more, the prototypes for the ASFs here for the Aeon faction. They don't have any bomber capabilities on them, but they do pretty well against other, ASFs and T2 air units. Just a fight between some Mantis and other Mantis here for Team 1 and 2. Volthus brought forward to help deal with them. But again, mid of the map, just kind of just dead space here. Not really a whole lot going on. There is a facility up front producing a heck of a lot of T1 mobile AA guns. I mean, I'd rather go for T2 flak at that point. We're going to mass produce them that way. The flak is a heck of a lot better. Gunships brought forth to help deal with this force that is inbound. A lot of them will be taken out, though, before they even reach their target, just due to the fact that there's no AA still in this mix. Team 1 needs to remedy that, and now bring some Volthus in. Bring some Swift ones in there, but we have T2 bombers trying to take out Judica here. Judica trying to build some AA. Gunships have already been taken out, which is kind of sad to see just gunships die for no reason other than just sitting there. But a nice group of renegades here to the east here for Judica. Maybe he will try to go after the comm here. who has built a base in the remnants of Judica's old forward operating base. But T2 sub hunters, T2 Torps will kill that comm of Judica. He needed to get out of the water, and he didn't. Needed a transport or something, but just couldn't get there in time. Again, that risky play, not really worth it in the end. And now it's a 2v1 scenario here. Team 1 has 2 players left, and Team 2, it is just Rekethur. So a 14 and 1300 versus essentially a 1300. Team 1 definitely has the advantage. Team 2 has the advantage in terms of map control for the most part. We have essentially Hannibal just kind of by himself here. Still, I mean, he's back in the green. No one's really tried to go deal with him. That group of gunships could easily kill him off. But it does look like they're on some mission to take out Eco. At least that's what the feeling that I get. We have Rekethur just kind of hanging out in the water waiting for something. Don't know what he's waiting for, but he's waiting for something. Those gunships are on approach. Gonna get in there a little bit more. There we go. Nice little cinematic view of those gunships that are inbound. Trying to move the camera a lot better. There we go. They are here. T2 Pigeons would be my call. Pings do go down. The gunships do stop. That is not a good idea. There's some swift winds en route to help deal with this. There's even some... Was that T1? Oh, is it NTs? Gunships are going after the T2 air facility. Don't know if that's the right call, honestly. I feel like the PGNs would be a lot better. But most of those are already dealt with. That's a failed assault there here from Rekethur. Yeah, I feel like you could have gone after those pigeons a lot better. It would have been a more bang for your buck. Would have killed a lot of build power too. But it is going for... It's just more gunships. Wait, no, those swift ones? Yeah, those are swift ones. Never mind. Thought those were gunships. Team 2 would be... The best idea would be to go T3 air facility, and that's what they're doing. They're already at 50% here for Rekethur. That's probably the play. Needs some advantage. Land isn't really going anywhere. We have a couple of T2 Rhinos here on the field for Team 1. But again, it's going to be a lot of work to just conquer a decent amount of this map. There's not really a lot of mechs to really fuel a lot of ground battles. It's going to take a while to get that eco up. I mean, we're at almost 20 minutes and no one's cracked 200 yet. You can tell it's kind of slow just because there's not that many mechs on the field, which this is one of those maps where you really got to think, I have a limited amount of resources. I have a decent sized map for the limited resources. How can I make this work? And it does look like Rekethur is going for the technology first, then going for more of a eco play, which is probably the better bet. Team 2 is on the better side of the eco as well. I mean, he can command more eco more efficiently because he's 1 player versus 2. But the comm of Hannibal kind of just sitting over here. Decent amount of swift winds kind of building up like ASFs at this point here for Team 1's player of Arela. We'll be able to take out these areas that were just circling the comm of Hannibal, waiting for him to kind of out of the water. But Team 2 does have a decent sized land army. A lot of AA, I was going to say, those are not AA, those are engineers. AA is over here. We don't see a lot of T2 units as of yet. I don't think he has... He doesn't have T2 land. That is not great here. He needs at least T2 land. The Swiftrun's just coming and just essentially airlocking their opponent. You know, interceptors are going out all the time, but T3 air has been completed. What will he build first? He needs more PGens, and he's going to build some engineers to help get those T3 ones online. We are at the 19-minute mark. Let me know how you feel about the match so far with a comment down below, a like with the little thumbs up button, and of course a sub if you have not already done so. So if you've been enjoying my videos, this cast in particular, please let me know. I love to hear everyone's opinions about my performance. Makes me a better caster, and you guys get a better product in the end of it. We do have a nice, group of T2 units and T1 units out here from the comm of Hannibal. Has rhinos. I think those are bangers, right? Yeah, those are bangers, and then some mantis. So essentially some bullet sponges with the rhinos, some cannon fodder with the mantis, and then AA mixed in there. Love to see that group, but a horde, and I mean a horde of engineers just going to start spamming up as many PD as they can. Rhinos have a perfect opportunity to just take out a whole bunch of engineers. But they're going to focus on some missile launchers, which, I mean, that's always good to kill, but you gotta kill the engineers. Gotta kill that build power. There is an assault to the north here from Rayla trying to take out some AA guns. That's it. They're just AA guns. There's no Mantis. There's no nothing. No Medusa. Well, actually, these are Seraphim, so they're not Medusa. But there's no Ilshi. There's an Ilshi now. But there's no Thams. There's no Zui. There's no... It's literally just AA guns. So not really a good mix of there. But the engine... It's just the flight of the engineers here to the south, to the north, against these T2 and T1 units, and they're all Rhinos. I think this is one Mantis left, but they're trying to puncture those wall sections here. Trying to do what they can. Oh, there's Waggers in there as well. Didn't notice that. They're taking out this facility of T2 Mechs. We have some T1 Thams here from Rekethur trying to do what they can. These units are going to be overwhelmed, but a lot of ego is down. You know, some defenses are online now, but that's a lot of mass he had to divert from building his air grid to the east. He has the T3 Pigeon online, starting to produce even more engineers. He needs more facilities, and he needs them now. I feel like the air game might be a nice place for him to sit and win. He could lock down a lot of things with T3 air. He also has access to T2 air as well for the Cyberns, so he has Corsairs, which are always good at taking out comms. Might be looking at eyeing out Hannibal to the west here. I saw he queued up a Corsair. Needs more than just one, but you know, a group of, I think it's like 7? No. It's 10. It's 10 can do one pass and kill a ungraded commander. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Ilshi just pummeling these Aurora. They cannot do much. Even the Aurora have a decent range on them, but of course their chassis are very weak. We have a Interceptor versus Swiftwind fight here for Team 1. That will definitely go the way of Team 1. But of course there is a ASF kind of in there once in a while. But that's a lot of... That's actually a decent amount of Swiftwinds. That's 40 Swiftwinds with one bingo on fuel. Though, you know, a couple of ASF is not going to cut it. It really is not. There's a force of units grouping up here in the middle. Engineers on reclaim orders. There's not, again, a lot of mass on this map, so any sort of reclaim is definitely going to be beneficial for either team. Both teams at 11k, so they're both doing pretty well at scooping whatever's on the map currently. But Team 2 really starting to suffer the eco. We have 228 versus 140. That group of T2 mechs is definitely cut into that eco stream quite heavily. I don't even see any T3 as of yet. Well, no, these are all T2. But a couple of spirits all the way in the backside here against Team 2's player Rekethur. I don't know how they got here, and I don't know. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to annoy. Yeah, I'm just going to provide some nice intel here for Team 1. See a nice little view of what's going on down here. Not really like the best play on the planet, but if they can kill a couple T3 engineers, I mean, that's better than nothing. But they only do like 2 damage a shot, so it really is not gonna matter that much. It's gonna take a long time. They might just be even ignored at that point. But in the middle, Ilshi's fighting some rhinos. They're starting to push back Team 1. We have a line of Cerberus in to assist them in the middle. A lot of Ilshis. Would like to see... Ooh, I don't know what I would like to see. I'd love to see T3 land at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon here for Team 2. Team 1 has T2 land, but that's it. Only from one player. That's all. He doesn't even have T3 land. I mean, oh, he's not going to have it. He's going to have it in a couple seconds. But is this going to allow Team 2's player Rekethur to be the only player on Team 2? So Rekethur to be able to just start at least showing some form of momentum northward. He's going to go after Hannibal to the west, trying to force his movement eastward, and there's a line of Corsairs coming in, dropping his hit points quite nicely. ASF's coming to screen him. That's a decent group of ASFs, to be fair. Hannibal forced to be in the water. His head still sticking out. Oh, there it goes. Underneath the water he goes. he wasn't going to hold that position for long, but the extra eco was definitely a boost to his team's efforts. And Team 1 really can't go against that horde of ASFs. I think that's enough to turn the tide. And Team 1 really needs to get that ASF count up right and quick. They want to continue contesting the air game. But Ilshi's just pummeling these rhinos. They are not allowed to exist here for Rekather. I have some Wagners mixed in there as well. And Ilshi's very powerful. They are essentially mobile T2 PD. I love the design though. Like, you would think that they're facing backwards, but they're not. So you would think that the back of them is the main gun, but it's actually the front. The back looks like the front, and the front looks like the back, but it's the other way around. So I kind of like the very unique design of the Seraphim units. A lot of them are very interesting. I especially love the Awasha bomber. I think that's my favorite Seraphim unit. Also helps that it, you know, drops a giant bomb and kills a bunch of stuff. But you can see the Ilshis can just, they don't tank a lot of damage, but you know, they have 2,700 hit points on them. And they just fire so quickly, it really doesn't matter how many hit points are on these Wagners. They're just annihilated. There they go, and they're just making their way westward. They're going to run into a brick, though, so that's going to hurt very quickly. But even against one brick, you can see those hit points just slowly fall. That brick has to retreat in the face of these Ilshis. And there it goes. It's already dead. T1 Bombers helping to assist that game, but Ilshis are still making their way westward, though. Those units are very, very useful for the Seraphim faction, and even more being built up. I would like to see some Othams, though. Combine that with some T3 lightning tanks, you got a really, really aggressive play. But those Cerberus turrets will be able to keep those Ilshis at bay. They're better suited to just take out this position. There's a couple of PD, but that's really about it. T3 Omni here in the middle here. You can see essentially the entire map. Nothing is without their notice. They see everything, and they see especially everything here in the center slot. I would assume we see at least a chicken or two, or maybe even a monkey. But, you know, again, with not a lot of mexes, only 2 players on both teams. At least Team 2 only has 1 now. Not going to be a lot of those big, giant battles. It's more about tactic. It's more about using your units to your advantage. And you can see these Ilshis just able to pummel whatever's here. The PD will be able to take them out, though. They're behind some walls, so that'll help shield their hit points quite a decent amount. But they're going after the Omni, but the shield's going to hold. We have Mantis coming in from the side because the turrets are distracted. Sorry, the PD is distracted. Go after the shield emplacement first. There you go. And then go after the Omni. That's a great move by Rekather. Distracting the PD, allowing the weaker units to get in and taking out the Omni. And now it's just a surrounding effort here from him to take out this position that was once owned by his team. There goes the last of that PD, and now this position is just going to be ran over. You have bouncers and bricks and other units coming in to assist, but too little too late on that front. The Mexes are the priority targets here. At least they should be. T1 Bombers over the top targeting these Ilshis. Does Team 1's player of... No, he does not. He still doesn't have T2. At least go T2 to get Corsairs. At least do that. I get it, you have T3 land, but at least go for T2 air just to get those Corsairs. They're very effective. Brick is already dead. Wagners, they just can't... Actually, these are... Yeah, those are Wagners. I thought those were Rhinos. Lots of mechs being taken out all across the map here against Team 1. We would have some Torp Bombers circling just to wait for him to go back in that water. You see the eco still Team 1, actually Team 2 is actually in the lead now at 300 mass a second. The tide keeps turning back and forth. You know, I thought this was almost an open shut case here for Team 1, but look at the map control that Rekather has. He essentially has 75% of the map under his control, or at least has denied a decent chunk of it. A-Ras going down here for Rayla, trying to get some more eco under his belt. And there are engineers on the way to reclaim this position. Would like to see some... Okay, there's interceptors coming in to assist. I was like, take out these bombers at least. This position is essentially not guarded. These are, what, T2 mexes, so 18 mass per second you could just instantly eliminate, plus the one over here. So you could just essentially force Team 1 essentially just in their main bases in this position, which is I guess what Judica was trying to do but failed at. But now would be that's the move, is to take that position. We have an air fight here over the middle. We have ASF and Swiftwinds fighting essentially just an ASF force, and it does okay, there are some more ASFs coming in. It's gonna be close. The Swiftwind's adding a nice little just cannon fodder here for Rayla, and he will retreat. Team 2's player of Rekather will retreat, but wants to go in for just one last engage. Gets, I think, one more ASF out of the deal, but a lot of there are still some Swiftwinds, but not a lot of ASFs left. The Team 1's player of Rayla has to be very careful with his ASFs. Cannot lose too many at one time. Building a nice air grid. Team 1, the other player, not doing really anything with that base. Needs to go T3 mexes, which he has almost finished doing. Looks like we have some mass bars being filled by Team 1. Yep, they have a decent chunk of mass bars. Would like to see that funneled into some sort of experimental. They're trying to turn the tide of the game. T2 Mechs is being taken out. This position was taken out as well. These Ilshis are just very, very cost effective here for Team 2's player of Rekather. You can just see they're just pummeling that brick apart. Look at this thing. Hit points flying off the shelves. And it will come out of range just barely. The brick's still firing, but the Ilshis move faster, so they're able to get away from that. ASF landing next to Ilshis, not the best idea, but there is a brick coming to intercept. I don't know. It's going to be close. I think the brick is actually going to die still. Wow, those Ilshis are super powerful. This is essentially the Ilshi promo cast, where it's like, if you're a Seraphim player and you don't build Ilshis, you're not playing your faction correctly. It's essentially what I end up saying throughout this match, at least so far. Yeah, he's going to keep T2 air here in the Dabrin fashion. Isn't going to go to T3. And only one player on Team 1 has gone T3 air, and one player on Team 1 has gone T3 land. Still have not seen T3 land here for either the Seraphim side or the Cybran side here for Rekather. Again, still a missed opportunity. Authams and Bricks, very powerful. They move slow, but they have a ton of hit points. But he's going straight for his chicken. He skipped T3 and went, it's fine. I'll just go T4 and build a chicken. That is huge. That is huge for him. Team 1 does not have a response. I mean, a few bricks is not enough. I don't see any movement to build some sort of, T2 artillery base. I don't see any effort to build a monkey or anything. So I don't think this is going to be the final nail in the coffin for Team 1, but that is a huge advantage here for Team 2. We even have Judica still playing the man in the chair or the Obi-Wan role of saying, hey, there's some stuff here, you should go pick it up, or hey, there's something over there, and like, hey, over there. Constantly denying Team 1 mass is very, very effective. Still more torps ready to just unleash on his opponent if they just dare step in that water. Which we do have Rayla barely under the water, though. You can see his head just slow, like right below the surface of it. So T3 bombers can do a number on him. And for such a small map, the water is actually pretty deep. I should have that little the little dots that show you how deep it is on my cursor, but sometimes it's distracting even for me, so I don't have it on. Let me know if you want me to have that depth thing on. But a couple bricks down the middle here. That chicken is on its way to intercept. It will be spotted by that spy plane. I'll do it again, says what? More ASF mass. Scout all just scouted. I want to look for experimental. I'll do it again. GC says Judica. Yep, it's up there. So Team 1 is building an experimental, a Colossus. But it's not too little too late. It is going to take a minute to get over there. But he needs it on that front line now more than anything else. And there's the chicken. The air fight over the top of that chicken. Nice engagement here by Rayla. Splitting up those ASF forces against Rekather. And that is, I think, an air victory. Yeah, the engagement is going very bad here. We have torp bombers trying to get out of range, but it's just, oh, it's a lot of ASFs. Comparatively, it's a lot of ASFs. Team 1 now has air control, essentially air dominance, but I'm not going to give it entirely over to that just yet. But it's very close to air dominance, though. Still more ASFs flying around, but that chicken's going to be very deadly. This position going to fall once again. I don't know how many times it's been built here by both teams, but man, it is not going to last. Bricks are going to be able to withstand some of these barrages from this chicken, but grouping up together, not a good idea. The chicken is designed to take out groups of densely packed units, and we have some Ilshis for backup, and we've seen what Ilshis can do to bricks, so not going to look good for that. I would like to see at least some flak here for the chicken. They have GC. GC is about to stand up. It's standing up as we speak. It's not going to look good for that chicken that's inbound. But there's a lot of Ilshis here and a lot of Mantis as well. Would like to see some engineers. Oh, here comes the T2 mobile AA. Here it comes. Okay. I was gonna say, it's still... Oh, nope, T3 land has been achieved as well. That chicken is just stomping over everything here. Doesn't want anything left standing. The AA gun on that chicken doing decently well. And I think that is the move. Take out the mass and run. You don't want to give the enemy that mass dump of a chicken, especially with how limited the mass already is on this map. Once the Mantis are dealing with this position, they're probably going to run as well, but they're going to die anyways. Never mind. And there's some bricks trying to chase the chicken, running for its life. I wouldn't be surprised to see a second chicken being built somewhere. Don't see anything. Nope, not on the front line either. No, it's just that one chicken. Again, would like to see a monkey here, but haven't seen that as of yet. He needs T3 cyber and tech, and he does not have it yet. He has Seraphim tech, but that is it. Still haven't seen the player of Hannibal go for T2 air. Again, I still feel like that's such a huge missed opportunity. You know, he could assist quite heavily just with Corsairs. I mean, yeah, they're not as effective as strap bombers or ASF, but they still do a ton of damage. I just don't know why he's not going for it. I know he's producing bricks as fast as he can, but he don't even has a monkey yet. And in terms of eco, I mean, they're pretty dead even. I mean, 212 versus 225. He even has more eco, and Team 1's player of Rayla has built it experimental before he did. So, don't know what he's doing with his mass. In terms of what's in his storage, he does have a decent chunk of mass stored up. Can build the chicken, start nuke after chicken. There's Judica. I don't see, I mean, he says will do, says Rekather. I mean, that'd be a great play. At 37 minutes, no one has built an SMD. You can see just this map is very bare bones. But bare bones is good, though, because sometimes you got to break away from all the flashy lights and that and focus a lot more on strategy or more chickens and send them through water. I mean, that works, too. You can actually send them this direction, go around this western side and actually cut off the supply lines here for Hannibal and force them either into the water in the north or just kill them outright. I mean, giving over the eco is probably not the best idea, but you're winning eco. You don't know, he doesn't know this, but he's winning eco 3-2 advantage essentially. What is he doing now? Don't know what he's doing. He's still building his air grid out. He has a decent sized air grid though, so you know he has to be aware of some snipes that might occur. But he's gonna go into the water. That's a very smart move. He's building more of an air grid as well. And Matt's FAF farms to help assist in the eco game. But he's building another chicken and another one after that. He needs T3 cyber and tech just to build just one monkey. I want to see one monkey this game. But no, I'm not going to see a monkey. I'm going to see a crab instead, which again is better than nothing. But I don't know. I love the monkey, A, because it's cheap, and B, because it's just so effective when you can use it right. That's a T2 Mechs on an upgrade, not ringed with mexes yet, but is going T3. 2 Colossi in the middle here. Ooh, it's starting to be dangerous here for Team 2's player Rekather, as he's the only last man. He's the only last man standing. He is the last man standing. And he has to be very careful with this. 2 of them in close proximity against 1 chicken is really only going to go one way. He's repairing his old chicken, which, is going to help boost up the eco, but I'd rather have a new chicken already on the case before repairing the other one. Like was said in chat by Judica, a nuke would be very prime for either team. SMD was just built, loading its missile as we speak. Don't really see there's some T1 Medusa kind of just roaming the plains here. Judica notices the 2 GCs. We have some sniper bots under coverage. Look at those things, just hanging out next to some rocks, hiding underneath shields, trying to just prevent their deaths with incoming Colossi. Stop patrolling, says Judica. Oh, probably for the Medusa. I think this is what. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. There is that chicken. It looks like it's gonna move. Does the Colossi move yet? Not as of yet. I think there's bricks coming in to support. Once they come in, then they'll push southward. It does give him enough time to get that second chicken online. He's going for a nuke launcher that's kind of far forward. You know, if those Colossi breach that front line, that nuke is dead. So it's kind of a risky move to put it here. Could have put it back in his main base, but decides not to. Strat, says Judica. Oh, there is a Strat snipe possibly on the cards here for Team 1. That is very dangerous. It does look like the chickens are trying to position themselves in this section of the map. Trying to get on the far side of those bricks. He wants the bricks to go west and then have the Colossi go east. And the bricks are moving west, but again, he has T3 lightning tanks. He doesn't have any Othams. He has the nuke launcher. I still don't see any Othams being built. Still very missed opportunity here. Bricks doing their best at taking out Ilshis, but in this large group of bricks, those Ilshis will not matter. They're doing what they can, but they really can't hold a candle to that horde of bricks, or that brick wall, as they're sometimes colloquially known as. There is some Utashalas in the middle providing some nice defense, but again, those bricks are moving westward, and that crab's going to really help push that western front. Not looking good for Team 2. The bombs are away. They're going to take out a decent chunk of hit points. Most of them will miss, but they kill 1 brick, which is better than nothing. Nice little ornate function of a bunch of shields protecting 4 these sniper bots. There's more shields coming to assist defense. 3rd crab online. The chickens are moving to the west to intercept the bricks. Maybe this will prompt the Colossi, but the Colossi have retreated. Now they're moving in. Well, that's a very missed opportunity in that aspect. They could have pushed with the crab and severely taken out the chickens, but the chickens are going to keep pushing now. Looks like they're going to try to edge. Maybe they're going to try to edge this way. I don't know. They're going to hold position here for now. Engine is already on the reclaim orders to scoop up all that mass. Probably funnel it either into a nuke or a chicken, or both, because why not? Again, no monkeys. Still no monkeys. Still disappointment. Needs to build 1 monkey. Somebody build a monkey. That's like this match could also be called in desperate need of a monkey. But the long range cannon on these crabs are able to shoot the chickens, and the chicken is suffering a decent chunk of hit points. They have to retreat. Crab's going to move forward to try to intercept them and keep it at range. Or keep them in range, not at range. And those chickens are going to move eastward. And I'm just waiting for that strap bomber rush to occur. You know, Rekather has held very long time here in the middle. There's 2 Colossi which are coming to assist the crab. The crab is moving eastward. That SMD has been built, and there is a nuke on the cards here for Rayla. Ooh, how close is that nuke here for Rekather? Not even close. Building some SMD as well. That missile, that SMD is a little too late on that aspect. Do they know about the nuke? They know about the nuke. That has got to hurt. That was the risk of putting it that far forward. Ooh, maybe they'll go for the air grid. I don't know. It's kind of a, nice little venue of opportunity. Is you could take out the nuke, or you could just take out this back here. Either or. It's not game ending or game winning, but severely in the right direction. But couple of Colossi versus one chicken, or now one chicken. Get a nice little view on those, cornered bare bones here. Chicken is trying to get in between both of those Colossi, but the the chicken will go down. Maybe they'll kill that other Colossus. Ooh. Oh, just barely gets out of range with 1,000 hit points. That has got to hurt. Just a bunch of shields with some sniper bots. Send about a bunch of Master Rayla to build that nuke. That nuke is halfway done versus Team 2's nuke. That is 2/3 the way done. Not really looking good here for Team 2 at the moment. They've lost both their chickens. The third one is almost completed. There is an SMD that has been loaded here for Rayla. Oh, actually, it hasn't been loaded yet. Ooh. It's pretty close to being loaded. Biplanes over the top. They'll notice that, build up of strap bombs once again if they forgot. But the Colossi have left the front lines, and now it leaves an open door for sniper bots. No Othams, no nothing. Just sniper bots. There is a chicken en route, but this is almost finished though. It might finish. Oh, it might finish. Oh, it's gonna be close. That nuke is gonna be close. That would be the play to take out the air grid. Does Team 2 know about the nuke? They do know about it, so that is the play. Take out that nuke launcher. Oh, it is gonna be close here, folks. It is gonna be close. They're trying to rush both things. Oh, they're actually rushing the SMD first, technically. But that nuke is almost there. The chicken is going to be brought forth to try to do what it can to hold off the enemy advancement. The chicken does not care. It's going to move forward. The chicken does not care. There it goes. That is not a good positioning, though, for those bricks, and it is going to hurt. Rogue ions on the field. Colossus. But the nuke does launch for Team 2. Is it loaded? It is loaded. Ah, that's gotta hurt. And he's gonna put the bomb, the nuke here. It's gonna intercept some bricks, but that's it. Not really worth it. Could have probably taken out the megalith. There it goes. Takes out almost all of those bricks that were inbound. I mean, it's not a bad placement, but not great. That Colossus is gonna push forward. There is not a lot of defenses here. There isn't even, a lot of PD either. They're rushing the building of the second nuke, but they built it way too far forward. The SMD does load to protect itself, but that Colossus is not going to stop till it kills the nuke, and I think that might do it here for Team 2. That's their trump card right here. They're building an Awasha in the back, and that's actually halfway done too, so they still have that to use, but that's a lot of ASF. Beg for mercy, says Rayla. Nope. SMD's dead. You've got no chance. Nice throw, says Judica. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a throw, but just he needed a lot more defenses on this front line. And he doesn't have an SMD. That nuke from Team 1 it has been loaded and it will launch. Will wreck a third retreat. You died like 30 minutes ago and had double my mechs count. Don't try. Okay. I mean, GG, says Judica. That nuke is launched. Where is it going? It's going for the air grid. That Awash is almost done, though. There it goes. It does finish. Will he get it out of there in time? Colossus is in the water protecting itself. The crab is pushing forward with all its might. Where does all the Colossus go? There's another crab en route. And this was, I feel like at some point this was Rekather's game to lose. And he's going to lose at this. Will land. Could have built that SMD in his base. He did not. Kaboom. Takes out the entire, almost the entire air grid. I blew up on him. What was it? I blew up on him. It looks like he vacates the match. He recalls. Okay, there we go. Now it's letting me scroll. I blew up on him to clear out his entire army. Both comms were alone, and I had a ton of obsidians. Yeah, I mean, once those colossus were built up in the middle, that nuke was essentially the main play. He still had the washer back here, but with all those ASFs, it really didn't matter if Rayla sent them all in and they all died. They would have killed the bomber, and then there's no way for Reckitther to really get back in the air game anyways. So I do agree with him vacating the match. It really was going to go one way at that point. Building that nuke very far forward with the SMD, not the best play. Should have built it back in the safety of his main base. That would have kept him alive. This position would have fallen still, but it would have kept him alive for a lot longer, I think. And maybe he could have mounted a comeback, but yeah, it's definitely a miscalculation here on Reckither's part. Judica tried to do something very aggressive, and that ended up getting him killed. Team 1 kept it very defensive, very kind of just by themselves. They went for this position early on. They lost it. They got it back. They lost it again. They lost this position as well. They got it back. So it really just comes down to, in this game, how did you manage your eco with so little that you had, and what risks did you take? And Team 2, I think, took a lot more risks than Team 1 did, and it ended up backfiring on Team 2's side of things. Let me know how you feel down in the comments. Oh, and underrated player of the game. Honestly, I don't know if I can give it realistically to anyone. I mean, Rayla pretty much did perform where they're ranked. Same with Hannibalo. Would have liked to see Hannibalo go for at least T2 air. I feel like that was a missed opportunity, especially with these strap bombers back here for Rayla as well. That was a missed opportunity. I love the ability to use them, but they weren't used. So, I mean, he could have just sent this in to kill the nuke. So, I don't know. It was kind of not risky, but not really worth the mass at that point. If you build a bunch of bombers and you don't use them, what was the point in building the bombers? But that nuke, that was a great nuke. Killed 107,000 mass on its first and only missile. The SMD loaded, but didn't even go for it anyways. So, yeah, I just feel like I really can't give it to anybody. I feel like everybody performed where they should. Reckither did do a good job of what he had, and he held out for a long time by himself. But again, it's the whole, he took more risks than he probably should have, with especially the nuke placement and the SMD placement. And he only built a couple of experimentals. Could have built monkeys, which would have been a lot more cheaper. Would have been cheaper. And he could have produced more of them. So, I don't know. I don't know who to give it to. Let me know down in the comments who you think you should give it to. I don't know who I should. But again, let me know down in the comments how you felt, whether you liked the cast or not. Sub to the channel if you liked the content on the channel so far, this video in particular, whatever the case may be. Again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video with all my little analysis and ranting and whatnot. And I will see all of you in the next one.